Hello, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, and welcome to another Monday morning art talk. Today's art talk is about being proud when you do something awesome. Whippy! Alright, so today I wanted to talk about being proud of doing something awesome. And it's something that it kind of bugs me a little bit. And I'm not a psychologist, a psychiatrist, so I don't fully understand it. But why is it that when people do great things and they move forward in their life and something awesome is happening for them, or they've accomplished something great, when a person speaks up about that or says something, inherently, for some reason, it makes us feel uncomfortable. It's almost like we don't want it. We don't want to know that someone's done something awesome, that someone's had a better success, that someone's got a job that we don't, that someone's having a baby and we're not, that someone's kid is so smart and ours isn't, that someone's, you name it, you go on and on. When people achieve things in life, people will just look at it. It's almost like they're not happy for them. It's like, it almost feels like if someone ever says to you, that's great, good for you. It's almost demeaning when they say good for you. It's like, because really they're saying, good for, what about me? Good for you, but are they truly 100% happy? And oftentimes we put on that face that we are happy, but really we're just like, man, it's cool. Wish it was me, right? I mean, I'm just saying this, and it really, this is the truth. This is if you want to sit and be truly true to yourself and not try to just say, no, I am. I'm generally happy for everyone. Now, don't get me confused when there is that happiness for people, when something does happen and it's like, it almost like that it has nothing to do with what you're doing, almost makes it, I think, a little bit easier. So say someone gets a gallery show but I have no desire to have a gallery show or want to do a gallery show, and you say, man, that's awesome, congrats, right? That's really feels like it's probably more legitimate and is more legitimate because it's not stepping on your toes. And when it's same thing that I talked about when I was visited some other countries, and people just talked about they're always in competition with each other. And I think that's the bottom line, is everyone's in competition with each other because everyone wants to have that job. So why is it so hard for us to get to that place, right? It's not always, it's not 100%. You're going to have those moments where you truly feel it, but let's just say on an average, okay? Let's just say that so that people out there aren't getting offended and saying, oh, yeah, blah, 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 right? So knowing that, it's sad because we can't always brag or even say of some good things that we've done, because it becomes, well, oh, look at you, you got a big head, oh, whoop-de-doo, look at you. So how do we do it? How do we break through that barrier without someone getting almost upset or, feeling good? And I don't know, other than just to say, you know what? If you've accomplished something and if you've worked hard at doing something and you know that you've gone through the mill, you've tried, you failed, you succeeded, you did everything, and you just wanted to say something to someone and let them know, then I think the bottom line is just say it, but don't expect someone else to congratulate you. Don't expect someone else to be like, give you all the accolades. I think when you're going to say it, you say it because you feel like you've earned it. All right. And I feel like, I've earned it. I've earned where I am today and what I do. With the studios I've worked for, with the things I've done. I've worked hard. It's nothing to be ashamed of. It's nothing to be upset about, so I can say it. And what I want to do is almost like share with you a couple of things that I have kept I don't talk about much. But you know what? I'm saying, you know what? Damn it, it's an awesome accomplishment. I feel proud of what I've done. So I'm going to say it here. And if it doesn't go beyond here, it doesn't matter. I feel like, you know what? I've accomplished something I want to say. One of those things that I'm extremely proud of, an accomplishment that I did where most people don't know about it. When I was working at Disney, actually I was working at Warner Brothers at this point. And I was working on Danny Phantom. So this was years ago. This is 12, 13 years ago. Every year there was an Annie Awards, okay? So the Annie Awards are like the Emmy Awards and like the Oscars for artists. And this is something every year you get best storyboard artist, best prop designer, best director, best this, best that. And what I realized was just kind of interesting is that there was never a category for best character design. They had storyboards, they had props, they had director, but there was no category for character design. And I thought, this is just the craziest thing. Why is there no category for best character designer? When the character designer, in my opinion, I'm sorry to everyone else that I might offend out there, but that's the franchise. You're buying the character design. You're selling the character design. The character design is on all the merchandise, all the licensing, the toys, it's everything. Why is there no category for that? So instead of we used to talk about it and people, yeah, it kind of sucks, lame. And I thought, you know what? I'm not going to sit and talk about it. I'm going to do something about it. So I wrote a letter to the president of the ASIFA organization at that time. And it gets a little hazy as to what happened after that, but I sent it to him. I submitted. I remember going over to Disney for some reason to maybe deliver the letter or something because the person was working at Disney. And all I know is once I submitted that letter, things changed. All of a sudden, the next year, there was a category for character design now. I never got any letter back saying, hey, you're right. There's something happening there. But again, it was all these years, it was never there. Since the time the Annies were around, it never existed until the time I posted that letter. So you know what? I'm taking responsibility and I am proud of the fact that I changed that in the industry, that I said something, and because of that, I've still never yet won an Annie, and that's fine. But the reality is, it's that it was done now, that other people now have won that, and they go now listen, let's talk about awards, because this happens in the Academy Awards, the Emmy Awards, all these people who are nominated. Hey man, congrats, everyone's getting the accolades, congrats. And then the night of the event, if you don't win, it's the shittiest feeling ever in the world not to win. And all these people that don't win the awards feel horrible. And any of you guys that have been in that situation and haven't won an award, you know what I'm talking about, and don't lie. You feel terrible. It's like all of a sudden you get punched in the face when you didn't win. It was like all this build up and thrill, and then you get nothing. But it's so, and people aren't gonna, people almost like don't even want to approach you after that. They don't want to say, oh dude, sorry man. What are they gonna say? They're gonna hurt your feelings. You say, sorry you didn't win. That hurts. Sorry you didn't win. Ouch. Ooh, But anyway, it's something where people will say, hey, congrats, as they're building up, towards that. And I think there's a legitimacy there. Again, it's something that if you're not in that category, all right, so people can feel happy. But I just want to say I'm proud of that. Okay. And another thing I want to say that I don't talk about much was when I first published my very first book, The Art of Silver, that my big green book. I'm looking for it if I have one in front of me here, and I don't. It was The Art of Silver. And I feel extremely proud of that moment too, because again, it was an industry changer. All anyone was doing before I started publishing these big books was doing little ash cans, these little paper books, not a real book. And once I published that, I remember going to like stewarding, and stewarding was just blown away by it because no one was doing it. And we sat and we met for coffee, and he said, "What are you doing? What's going on?" And I showed him, and I remember him being so impressed, and he ordered a bunch of them, and then all of a sudden he was out of them, and he called me up and he wanted more, and he kept reordering, and it really changed things. And I was going to all the comic book stores, the bookstores, and from that point on is when all other artists started doing these big books and started making their big self-printing. And I was teaching people, telling friends how to self-publish books, and they were self-publishing these big books, and then they were putting it out, and their friends were asking them how they did it. And it started a huge thing in the industry of people, artists, making their own real books and self-publishing. And you know what? I'm proud of that. And that's why I just kind of want to say that there's these moments where you got to throw it out there, everyone, again. Yeah, am I a pat on the shoulder? Hey, why not? Why not? Because it's something I'm proud of, and it's hard to say it to people sometimes, and people don't want to sort of hear it. And that's why I'm saying it now. So call it what you will. I think it's important when you create something, when you do something, you know what? Be proud of it. Be happy, because that's a reward that you've earned in this lifetime, that you took the initiative, that you made the effort, that you did something that changed something and did something and affected. It's like cause and effect, and it changes many people's lives in between. So why not, you think Steve Jobs is or anyone in that department who created Macintosh isn't going to let you know they created the Macintosh and be proud of that? So, for whatever it is, whatever company you start, whatever thing that you do, just, even though you're not going to get pats on the back, you're not doing it for that, okay? You're doing it, first of all, because it's all you know what to do, and you feel the calling to do it, and you feel like something's wrong and something's missing out there, and that's why I'm going to do it and get something started. So think like that. And go for it. Again, don't be ashamed of the accomplishments you make in your life, because I know artists, they're horrible when it comes to this. They're just so, I don't know what it is, but I've seen just artists, again, it's just like being insecure, or just, shucks on me, shucks, and then people tell them your artwork's great, and they say, it's okay, it's all right, but why not just take hey, thanks. What about hey, thanks, I appreciate that. And that's what you're doing. Why not? All right, so that's my art talk. Thanks for watching. And next week is the last week to sign up for my character design full day workshop. That's coming up next week. And then there's a drawing party, and also my retreat that I'm doing out near Santa Cruz, out in the mountains, with a bunch of other activities. It's not just me. It's going to be a whole weekend full of activities, from meeting people, meditation, just drawing, just finding your focus, what it is you want to do, and good time. Check it out. It's all in the information below. If you want to rejuvenate, come out to the mountains, come hang out in a beautiful cabin. You'll get your own cabin and everything else. It's going to be awesome. Check it out, and I'll talk to you guys next week. Take care. Hello, this is Steven, and I just wanted to tell you about this cool thing that I'm doing right now through my website at silvertunes.com. It's a Skype mentorship. In a sense, what I want to do is just talk to you, meet you, tell me about things that are happening in your life, see if there's anything that I could do to help you. I can look over your artwork, do your portfolio, and just maybe try to push you in the right direction that you want to take your life and your journey. All right, so you can go to silvertunes.com, go to classes, click on mentorship, and you can learn all about it. We can try to arrange a time, set up a date. It doesn't matter where you live in the world. And I just wanted to make it just very affordable, just to open it up, because I love doing this. I love meeting people from all over the planet. It's a really cool thing, and with this technology, why not? So that's it. Thanks.